Hey all, it's Libby Pease here from Listening Tree Studio and Coaching. Welcome to my Father's Day Facebook Live. So I'm making a recording of this so you can see it now or you can see it later, and hopefully everything works out today and we have good internet so that we don't lose the connection like we did for the Mother's Day one. So I just want to welcome everybody. Hello out there. And this is the Father's Day event. So again, I've got some information here. As you may know, I try and do some research about different holidays that are popular in North America, and it's just to support individuals who might be new to celebrating different events. And this one is for Father's Day. So for Father's Day, like many other holidays that I've actually done videos for, is rooted in ancient times. So if you go way back, it was started out as a celebration for the sky god or sun god. So depending on whichever country you were part of or what other nation you were part of, it was a different name for all of those gods. You could probably think of the Egyptian one for Ra, but that was the celebration that started with it. And basically what you had was individuals celebrating the day and giving honor and tribute to those gods. So the gifts that we give our fathers is just like the tributes that we give to the gods. So one of the pieces too is in the Middle Ages, more the Catholic history of it was the celebration of Saint Joseph. So during medieval times, there was a lot of dedication there, and that happened actually on March the 19th. So it was earlier in the season. But when you go back and think about the sun god piece, the Father's Day event happens closer to summer. So the summer solstice, amazing how all of that just sort of ranges back all to all of those rooted things, the connection to the sun, the connection to the seasons and that kind of thing. So it really sort of hinges right back to that. And so the Spaniards and the Portuguese are said to have brought the celebration of Father's Day over to America when they came over and continued that tradition. But really, Father's Day has been pretty sporadic throughout history. It hasn't been the same. Hey Chris, how's it going? So in modern times, basically when it comes to Father's Day, there hasn't been a lot that's happened with it. So there was some inspiration from the original Mother's Day, and if you saw my Mother's Day Facebook Live, then you'll know that Mother's Day really started at the early 1900s. And now with the Father's Day, the first one was actually inspired in 1908. And it was proposed that the celebration for Father's Day would happen on July the 5th. And this was inspired by Grace Golden Clayton. And she wanted to have a dedication to 250 men who died in a mine cave-in. And one of the men that had died during that cave-in was her father, and 250 or 249 other men also died with. Hello, hi Kim, how's it going? So you know that celebration happened that year, but it really did interfere with the Independence Day celebration, so it really didn't catch on because everyone had celebrated Independence Day on July the 4th, sorry guys, and then on July the 5th, having the Father's Day, it just seemed like it was too much, so it really didn't catch on. And then another time was proposed in 1910 of July the 19th, and actually it was July the 5th June the 5th, that they wanted it to happen as well. And this was inspired by Samora Smart Dobbs, and she wanted to commemorate her father, who during the late 1800s became a widower, and he had been supporting 5 children. So actually 5 boys and 1 girl, 6 children, all on his own. And he decided to do it on his own, which was not traditional for the day. So she wanted to have a Father's Day that was on his birthday, which was June the 5th. And she, asked the Alliance to, promote that. They said that they needed more time, so they actually promoted July the 19th as being Father's Day. Again, that didn't catch on. So it took a long time, and there were many more attempts for having Father's Day come up. So in 1911 and 1912, there was a try again. In 1916, President Wilson tried to honor the day as well. It didn't catch on as being a specific day. 1924, Calvin Coolidge urged the government to observe the day and make it an official holiday. Still didn't catch on. And it was actually interesting because it was resistance of fathers themselves that basically said, we're really worried that you're going to domesticate masculinity. So there was a lot of resistance to that. And during that time, the family depended on his income in order to actually pay for the gifts. So they felt that it was, a waste of money. I'm making this money and giving you the money, and then you're buying gifts that I'm not going to use, and it's a waste. So there was resistance to that originally. And after World War II, though, there was that piece of honoring all of the fathers and men who had died during the war. So it started to catch on a little bit more if you added that honoring their sacrifice into it. But it's still 1966, Lyndon Johnson tried to proclaim that Father's Day, and it still didn't catch on. It wasn't until 1972 with Richard Nixon actually made Father's Day official in the United States. So it took an awful long time for that to happen. So when you consider Father's Day now some of the people who watch my videos may not have actually celebrated Father's Day before, or they might have a really negative connection with their fathers. So why celebrate Father's Day? Well, celebrating Father's Day is just to show gratitude to your actual biological fathers, but it also could be showing gratitude to those mentors and people who inspired you, the people who supported you, the people who took that father figure position in your life and helped you get to where you want today. Yeah, Uncle Richard, yeah. So there's always going to be some people out there that might inspire you, even if it is not necessarily your biological father. Biological father could also be dead, or your father figure could no longer be living. So why celebrate Father's Day? It's just taking a moment in order to show gratitude to those people who have been able to support you and help you be where you want to be now. So that gratitude is just taking a moment to do that is it feels so good. And for those fathers who are working so hard to do the best that they can, it can actually mean the world as well. So celebrating Father's Day, what does that look like? Well, unfortunately, Father's Day has sort of, been kind of like that second thought, right? Everyone really gets into Mother's Day. They do the whole big deal. And then when it comes to Father's Day, you're like, oh, okay. So what do I do now? What do I do for Dad? So there's some popular things that are features of Father's Day. And I dug up my spouse's wonderful tie. How many ties have you gotten for Father's Day if you're a father, right? So popular things are taking fathers out for dinner. So dinner or a sporting event. So if your dad is really into sports, or if you're a dad and you really are into sports or other events like that, that might be a great suggestion. Second on the list is power tools. This one is actually mine, but that's okay. Power tools are also second on the list. Cards and gratitude like that are also a different suggestion. But I mean, we keep thinking that Father's Day isn't really as big as Mother's Day, and it's still right up there. I did some research in 2016. Americans, like the U.S. alone, I'm not even talking about Canadians here or the rest of the world. We're just talking the U.S. spent $14.6 billion on Father's Day alone. That's a lot of ties. That's an awful lot of ties. It probably added up to the sports events and the dinners and stuff like that. But if you're thinking about Father's Day, you know what? Find out what would be special for your dad. What would be something that he would want that would really show that gratitude? And if you're a father, what are some things that you'd really love from your kids or from your family? And just think of those things and maybe even give your family some hints, right? Power tools. The honey-do list. That is true, Chris, when it comes to the honey-do list. I like power tools because I like to do all of those domestic lists at home, but I'm the honey who does. So it's kind of like giving a vacuum to a woman for a birthday or for Mother's Day. It's, not great unless they really want it. But yeah, really considering what is a good gift for somebody, and does it have to be a gift? Could it just be, like, I know that my spouse really enjoys spending time with his son, especially on Father's Day. So him taking the effort to come up or even, give a phone call is loads. It's just, finding out what is really important to those individuals. So that is the information about Father's Day. I do videos for all of the holidays or special events for North America. Now, I live in Canada, so the next one will be probably Canada Day. And then, of course, there's Independence Day in the US. I'm not quite sure yet whether I'm going to combine those or whether that is this is 2018, whether that is probably a good idea this year, seeing as what's going on right now between our sides of North America here. But keep a lookout for the next events that are happening. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the comments. I will check my feed and answer any questions that you may have. And take a look out for the next videos coming out with Listening Tree Studio and coaching. And I'm here to support you to live strong and authentic lives. Thanks so much. Bye, Chris. Thank you. And